Let's go back into the courtroom where we are listening to testimony from a crime scene technician, Amanda Wallace.
Let's start out with the photos. I'm presenting to you items that have been pre-marked States Exhibits 28 through 45. Okay? We're going to take them one at a time. If you look, they're labeled on the back. Okay? Please look at States Exhibit 28. What is that?
This is a red, maroon, and color Lexus SUV.
And is that the vehicle that was searched?
Yes.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of that vehicle?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, state would seek to enter into evidence States Exhibit 28.
Defense? No objection. Admit without objection.
Now publishing?
Yes, please. Publish 28.
Please look at States Exhibit 29. What is that?
This is the rear seat of the maroon and colored Lexus.
Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would seek to enter in States Exhibit 29.
I didn't understand what she said, Judge.
This is the rear seat to the Lexus vehicle.
No objection.
All right. Admit without objection. Number 29. Please publish.
Publishing. Now, in this photograph, what do we see here on the floor on the driver's rear passenger side?
That is the diaper bag and blanket that were seized.
So the diaper bag would be this dark item with, it looks like some type of tassel hanging down from it.
Correct.
And then the white blanket would be on top of that.
Yes.
Please look at States Exhibit number 30. What is that item?
This is also another photograph of the blanket and diaper bag.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, state would seek to enter in States Exhibit number 30.
Defense?
No objection.
All right. Admit without objection.
Publishing. And I guess this is more of a, how would you describe this view?
It's a more close-up view, and I was directly next to the seat.
Okay. Would you look at States Exhibit 31? What is that a photo of?
This is a photograph of the rear seat from the front driver's side view.
And is that a fairly and accurately depict what you observed that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would seek to enter in States Exhibit 31.
Defense? Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Admit without objection. 31s.
Now publishing 31.
Please.
What was the purpose of this photograph?
I believe it was just to be able to show the view of the rear seat, that there was nothing on the rear passenger seat.
And so from the photographer's position, where would this be?
I was standing directly beside the driver's seat.
Looking towards what side, what part of the vehicle?
That would be the rear passenger seat.
Thank you. Would you look at States Exhibit 32, please? And what are we looking at there?
This is the blanket that was seized from the vehicle.
Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would seek to enter into evidence States Exhibit 32.
Defense? Any objection?
No objection.
Admit without objection.
Publishing that. And I guess this is just a unfolded view or an uncrumpled view.
Yes.
Would you look at States Exhibit 33? What is that?
This is a photograph of the gray diaper bag that was located in the vehicle.
Is that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would seek to enter.
Top of the hour, we have to get to a break. We'll get you back in for more of the forgetful grandmother manslaughter trial for Tracey Nix in Florida after this. Thanks for being with us. You're watching Court TV, your front row seat to justice. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julia Janae. Thank you for following along with us this afternoon as we track several major trials here at Court TV. We're in Florida. The trial for a grandmother who's accused of leaving her 7-month-old granddaughter to die in a hot car. It kicked off today with opening statements. We're also watching this courtroom in Tennessee, where it's day 2 of testimony for a man who is accused of fatally stabbing a young woman and then stuffing her body in a suitcase by a river. And in New Hampshire, we're on a verdict watch in the bad breakup murder trial for Victor Rivera. He faces life in prison if he's found guilty of second-degree murder in the double murder of his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. That jury has been deliberating for an hour and 38 minutes. We will keep you updated on all of these trials throughout the day, but for now, let's head back to Florida. We're watching the forgetful grandmother manslaughter trial for Tracey Nix. Let's go in.
A little girl. How do you forget a little girl?
According to court records, on November 1st, 2022, Kayla was going to get her hair done and asked her mom to babysit. Tracey met with friends for lunch, drove home, and forgot her granddaughter in the back seat with the windows rolled up. She went inside, talked to her dog, and practiced the piano. When one of her grandsons arrived, all of a sudden it came across her head that Uriel was in the back seat all afternoon. Her husband immediately began CPR. Temperatures in Wauchula that day reached 90 degrees. Uriel died. She was 7 months old. But less than a year earlier, 3 days before Christmas 2021, 16-month-old Ezra, Uriel's brother, also died while under his grandmother Tracey's care.
911, where is your emergency?
That's a little baby. The grandmother's out giving him CP. Is he breathing? No.
Okay, it was a pond,
Yeah.
and they're not sure how long the child was in the pond?
No.
The state attorney's office did not file any charges, telling us in cases involving the accidental drowning of a toddler, Florida appellate courts have stated that a one-time lapse of judgment would not establish culpable negligence of the caretaker. Under the judge's instructions, Kayla's son's death will not be mentioned during her mother's aggravated manslaughter trial.
On the stand now in this trial, crime scene technician Amanda Wallace. Let's pick it up where we left off.
Defense?
Oh, excuse me, 33.
33. Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection, publish if you desire.
Now publishing State's Exhibit 33. And now this is outside the vehicle?
Yes,
And what's on the side of the diaper bag there?
that is a baby bottle.
Please look at State's Exhibit 34. What is that?
This is the diaper bag again with the top zipper unzipped, and you can see items inside the diaper bag.
Was that fairly inaccurately depict what you saw inside that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 34.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection, publish if you desire.
Now publishing 34. And I guess what you're saying is how was this closed?
It was zipped closed.
Okay, and are we unzipped here?
Yes.
And what type of items are we looking at?
There is there was multiple items inside there. In this photograph, you can see, I believe that is a baby diaper and the top of maybe some wipes.
So we're looking at baby-related type of things?
Yes.
Okay. Would you look at State's Exhibit 35, please? What are you looking at there?
It's a photograph of 2 baby bottles that were located in the diaper bag, and one of them still had milk or formula in them.
Is that fair and accurate to depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, the State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 35.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection, publish as you desire.
Now publish one. I guess you said there were 2 bottles there?
Yes.
Please look at State's Exhibit 36. What are you looking at there?
It is a more open view of the main compartment to the diaper bag, and you can see miscellaneous baby items.
Is it a better view than the one we saw earlier?
Yes.
Does it fairly and accurately depict what you saw, ma'am?
Yes.
State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 36.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admit without objection. Publish as you desire. State.
Now publishing. And it looks like we're looking at articles of clothing.
Yes.
All right. State's Exhibit 37, what is that?
This is the other compartment of the diaper bag unzipped, and you can see an article of clothing.
Is it fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
State would seek to enter into State's Exhibit 37, Your Honor.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection. Publish as you desire. State.
And it looks like it's almost in half at this point.
Yes, the diaper bag had multiple zipper compartments, and the last photograph we looked at was the larger compartment. This was like the front compartment to the diaper bag. When you unzipped it, it would lay down flat.
And are we looking at what, more supplies?
Yes.
Would you look at State's Exhibit 38, please? What are we doing here?
These are, it's baby medication and toiletry items that were located in the diaper bag.
Okay, are the actual items that were removed?
Yes.
Is what's in that photograph fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 38.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection. Publish as you desire. State.
Now publishing. Please look at State's Exhibit 39. What is that?
These are the contents that were in the larger compartment of the diaper bag, and you can see baby wipes, more clothing items, the bottle, a baby toy, and some diapers.
So again, more supplies?
Yes.
Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 39.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection. Publish if you like. State.
So all of this that we see in this photograph came out of that bag.
Yes.
Please look at 40. What does that depict?
This is the front passenger seat to the Lexus vehicle.
Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 40.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admit without objection. Publish as you wish. State.
Now publishing. And these were the items that were just found on the front seat, passenger seat?
I believe.
Or just what you saw on the front?
Yes.
Seat? Okay. Go to 41, please. What is that?
It's a photograph of the car seat in the rear driver's side seat.
And let me ask you that. That wasn't found that way, correct?
Correct.
How did the car seat get into the rear seat?
Detective Ward placed it there.
And what was the purpose of that?
He placed it there so that he could attempt to. He also sat in the driver's seat to see if he could see the car seat from the rearview mirror.
Okay. And does that, once you placed, so that isn't, like I said, the car seat wasn't found in that location, but it was placed there.
Correct.
Was that for an investigative purpose?
Yes.
Okay. And does that fairly, once that car seat was placed in there, does that fairly and accurately depict the scene the way it looked once the car seat was placed in the rear seat?
Yes.
Your Honor, the State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 41.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection. Publish as you wish. State.
And so it's clear this is the driver's side
Yes.
and rear passenger seat.
Yes.
Please look at State's Exhibit 42. What does that show?
It's just another photograph of the car seat with the diaper bag in it.
With a different angle.
Yes.
And does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw?
Yes.
Your Honor, State would seek to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 42.
Defense?
No objection.
All right, admit without objection. Publish as you wish. State.
And where would you be standing as far as the car is concerned when you took this photograph?
I was standing just outside of when the car door opens, on the rear passenger seat.
Please look at State's Exhibit 43. What is that?
This is a photograph from the front passenger view of the car seat and the rear driver's side seat.
And does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, statement seat 10 turned to evidence, State's Exhibit 43.
Defense?
Could the witness repeat?
Yeah, please repeat, ma'am.
This is a photograph from the front passenger side seat of the rear driver's side seat of the car seat.
Thank you. No objection.
All right, admit without objection. Publish as you wish. State.
Now publishing. State's 43. And from these photos, is that the handle to that? Is the car seat rather close to the driver's seat?
I did not measure, but it was within close proximity.
Okay, thank you. Would you look at State's Exhibit 44? What is that?
This is a photograph of the rear seat from the rearview mirror. It's taken from the front seat of the rearview mirror looking into the back seat.
Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw when you took that photograph?
Yes.
Your Honor, statement seat 10 turned evidence, State's Exhibit 44.
Defense?
No objection.
Admit without objection. Publish as you wish. State.
Now publishing 44. And I believe you should have one more photo up there.
Correct.
Would you please look at State's Exhibit 45, and what does that show?
It's just another photograph of the rear seat from the, or of the rearview mirror looking at the rearview seat.
Okay, different angle again, or?
Yes.
Okay. And is that fairly and accurately depict what you saw there?
Yes.
The rear view mirror, the closeness of that car seat to the front seat, all of this to show that she should have known that that child was inside of the car. That's the prosecution's case. The defense, of course, saying something very different about this forgetful grandmother. We're going to get you in for more testimony after this quick break. Stay with us.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, 2 grandchildren died under her care. Now a grandmother stands trial for one of these deaths. We're diving deeper as this tragic case gets underway.
Closing Arguments tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
A Ponzi scheme and a deadly poisoning.
A former pharmacist already convicted in a federal fraud case.
Now stands trial for the murder of her husband.
The Ponzi scheme murder trial. Live coverage begins this week, only on Court TV.
Bridge.com.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Let's go back to that courtroom in Florida where we are watching the forgetful grandmother manslaughter trial. The big question here is whether or not this was just a tragic coincidence, an accident, or does it rise to the level of aggravated manslaughter? 67-year-old Tracey Nix is accused of leaving her 7-month-old granddaughter in a hot car, resulting in her death. And what makes this case even more complex is that a year earlier, another one of Nix's grandchildren died under her care. She's not been charged in that death, and this jury isn't going to know about it, but it is what prompted the prosecution to file charges in this case. Let's get you back inside of the courtroom where you're listening to the crime scene technician, Amanda Wallace.
This time, statements in State's Exhibit 45.
Defense?
No objection.
All right, admit without. Publish as you wish. Okay.
Now publishing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So besides photographing, you did collect some items also?
Yes, I did.
What were those again?
I collected the small white blanket and the gray diaper bag.
Okay.
And
Over here. Do this here. Do you want to come over here? I'm approaching you with been pre-marked at State's Exhibit number 59. Would you please look at that? Do you recognize that item?
yes,
What is that item?
it is the blanket that was located in the vehicle.
And how do you recognize that?
I recognize it from sight, but this is also my evidence label and packaging and my initials.
Does it appear to be in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected it, ma'am?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, State would seek to enter into evidence State's 59.
Defense?
Could I board here just very briefly? Just one question.
One question?
This blanket that's in front of you, ma'am, is that the same blanket that you took photographs of?
Yes.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admit without objection, publish as written.
Showing you it's been pre-marked at State Exhibit number 60. It is in a plastic bag, so you can't take it out, okay? Please take a look at that item. If you stand up to do so. Do you recognize that item?
Yes.
What is that item?
That is the diaper bag that was located in that vehicle.
And how do you recognize that item?
I recognize it by sight. This is also the packaging that I placed it in, along with my initials.
And does that appear to be in the same or substantially same condition that from when you collected it?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, State seeks to enter into evidence State's Exhibit 60.
Defense?
Briefly, are the contents of the diaper bag, or is it just the diaper bag itself?
The contents are in the diaper bag.
Or in there?
Yes.
The ones that gone through all these photographs with?
Yes.
No objection.
All right, admit it without objection.
Other than that, ma'am, did you perform any more of your duties as far as this case was concerned?
I downloaded the photographs and submitted them into evidence.
Other than, it sounds more of an administrative thing. Other than that, anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Defense? Cross?
Yes. Ma'am, you had all the items you photographed you actually had over here.
Sir?
You had the actual items over here of those photos, the items depicted in those photos?
Yes.
Okay. And when you took those photos, can you tell us about what time of day it was?
It was approximately, the search warrant began at approximately 2:16 p.m. and I seized the diaper bag and the blanket at approximately 2:55 p.m.
Okay, of what day?
of November 4th.
November 4th. Okay, and this incident occurred when?
I'm sorry,
The incident we're here about, what day did it occur?
November 1st.
Okay, so it was 3 days later.
Correct.
All right. So you don't know where any of these items were, we'll say, at the time that all this happened?
Those items were located in the vehicle. The vehicle came into the evidence room on November 1st. The evidence room was secured.
When did you first observe these items?
I noticed on scene that there was something in the car, but I cannot tell you exactly because we were dealing with the car seat.
Okay, so you don't know what was where on November 1st?
Correct.
Thank you.
Can we redirect?
Briefly, Your Honor.
Please.
Just to be certain that the jury heard that the car was secured on November 1st, correct?
Correct.
No further questions.
All right, then she needs allowed to leave.
Yes, Your Honor.